Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Toronto edition for Friday, November 22, 2024.
Harbourfront skating rink reopening in Toronto. The Harbourfront skating rink in Toronto, Ontario is set to reopen on December 21, 2024, after being closed since January 2023 due to funding issues related to maintenance and safety. Many residents expressed their disappointment over the rink's closure, highlighting its significance for family fun and community gatherings. In response to community advocacy, Deputy Mayor Malik proposed a motion that secured an additional $425,000 from the city budget to bring back the rink. The new facility will provide a safe venue for skating and community activities, including free skate rentals and DJ nights. This reopening aims to boost local businesses and enhance winter activities in the area.
Toronto's festive weekend events. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, is gearing up for a lively weekend filled with holiday celebrations. The Santa Claus Parade is scheduled for November 23rd, featuring numerous floats and the beloved Santa Claus. The parade kicks off at Christie Pitts Park at 12:30 p.m. and wraps up at St. Lawrence Market. Taylor Swift will take the stage for her final concerts of the Eras Tour at Rogers Centre on November 21st, 22, and 23. Fans can also participate in a tailgate event at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre before the shows. The one-of-a-kind show opens on November 21st at the Intercare Centre, showcasing unique gifts for early Christmas shoppers. Tickets are available for $20, with discounts for children, students, and seniors. Transportation services will adjust to handle the expected crowds, with road closures in place for safety. These festive events are set to boost local businesses and spread holiday cheer throughout the community.
Traffic updates for Taylor Swift concerts in Toronto. The City of Toronto has provided traffic updates for the upcoming Taylor Swift Eras Tour concerts on November 21, 22, and 23, 2024. Road closures will start at 1 p.m. on concert days. The westbound lanes of Bremner Boulevard will be closed, while eastbound lanes will remain open for two-way traffic. Local traffic will be permitted on certain streets. At 9:45 p.m., off-ramps from the Gardiner Expressway will close briefly to assist with crowd management as concertgoers leave the Rogers Centre. Additional closures will take place at 10 p.m. on Front Street West. All road closures are expected to be lifted by 1 a.m. the following day. Public transit is the recommended option for navigating downtown Toronto during the concerts.
Sinkhole closes Parkside Drive in Toronto. A sinkhole has caused the closure of Parkside Drive in both directions in Toronto, Ontario. The sinkhole formed near the intersection with High Park Boulevard. Toronto police confirmed that no injuries occurred due to the incident. City staff are currently investigating the situation and exploring the possibility of reopening one lane. Flooding on Wednesday night had blocked all traffic, but the water has now receded. Social media images show large sinkholes along the road. Motorists are advised to seek alternative routes to avoid delays.
Shooting incident in Brampton, Ontario. A shooting incident took place in Brampton, Ontario, on November 9, 2024. The victim, 37-year-old Sterling Sylvester, was found with a gunshot wound and pronounced dead at the scene. Peel Regional Police arrested two individuals, Eileen Beardy, 34, and Lucas Carty, 30, who faced charges of manslaughter and accessory after the fact to murder. An arrest warrant has been issued for Anthony Beardy, 33, who is wanted for second-degree murder. The motive behind the shooting is still under investigation, raising concerns about rising gun violence in the community.
Pedestrian struck in Caledon, Ontario. A woman in her 20s was critically injured after being struck by a vehicle in Caledon, Ontario, Canada. The incident happened on Dixie Road near Mayfield Road, just before 10 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. Ontario Provincial Police arrived at the scene, and Peel paramedics took the woman to a hospital in Toronto with life-threatening injuries. The driver of the vehicle stayed at the scene. This incident highlights ongoing concerns about pedestrian safety in the area.
Groupe Dynamite launches IPO in Canada. Groupe Dynamite, a fashion retailer located in Montreal, Canada, has announced a $300 million initial public offering on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Trading will start on November 23, 2024. with shares priced at $21 each. The company is targeting a market capitalization of about $2.3 billion. Established in 1975, Groupe Dynamite has grown to operate nearly 300 stores across Canada and the United States, employing around 6,000 people. This initial public offering represents a significant milestone, marking one of the first major Canadian companies to go public after a lengthy period of inactivity in the market.
Stabbing incident in Scarborough, Ontario. A man has died following a stabbing in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. The incident took place on the night of November 20, 2024. Around 11 p.m. Police discovered the injured man at his home and pronounced him dead at the scene. His 32-year-old son is now in custody. The homicide unit is looking into the circumstances of the case. Neighbors described the victim as a kind and friendly person, expressing their shock at the event. This tragedy raises serious concerns about safety within the community.
Increase in gun violence and auto switches in Toronto. Toronto police have reported a record number of firearm auto switches seized in 2024. These devices, known as auto switches, convert semi-automatic handguns into fully automatic machine guns. So far this year, police have confiscated 109 auto switches, a significant increase from 29 in 2023. Gun violence is also on the rise, with 417 shootings in Toronto this year, compared to 296 last year. A recent shootout on November 11th involved nearly 100 shots fired and led to 23 arrests. All firearms seized in this incident came from the United States. Experts warn that the rise in these devices and gun violence poses serious risks to public safety. The ongoing issue of cross-border trafficking highlights the urgent need for stronger measures to prevent illegal firearms from entering communities.
Mother charged in infant's death in Toronto. A mother in Toronto, Ontario, has been charged after her 4-month-old infant was found dead. The father reported the baby missing on Wednesday morning. Police quickly responded and located the infant, but the child was pronounced dead at the hospital. The mother faces charges for failing to provide the necessaries of life and is set to appear in court. This tragic incident raises serious concerns about child welfare and the support systems available for families in distress. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the death is ongoing.
Canada announces financial relief measures. On November 21, 2024, the Canadian government announced new measures to help citizens dealing with rising costs. Prime Minister Trudeau revealed plans to send $250 Canadian to approximately 18.7 million Canadians earning $150,000 Canadian or less in 2023. This financial assistance will cost the government around 4.7 billion Canadian dollars. Additionally, a temporary cut to the goods and services tax, or GST, will start on December 14 and continue until February 15. This tax break will apply to essential items like prepared foods, children's clothing, and Christmas trees. These measures aim to ease financial pressure during the holiday season and respond to public dissatisfaction with the cost of living.
Brampton man linked to major gold heist faces arrest warrant. A bench warrant has been issued for Prasad Paramalingam, a 35-year-old from Brampton, Ontario, in connection with a major gold heist at Toronto Pearson Airport. In April 2023, Durante King McLean, a 25-year-old suspect, allegedly stole millions in gold bars. Paramalingam faces charges as an accessory after the fact for helping King McLean during the heist. Investigators have also connected both men to a case of international firearms trafficking in the United States. King McLean was arrested in Pennsylvania in September 2023, where authorities found 65 stolen firearms in his rental vehicle. This gold heist is regarded as the largest in Canadian history, and most of the stolen gold has yet to be recovered.
Ontario's controversial Bill 212 on bike lanes. The Ford government in Ontario has introduced a new law called Bill 212. This legislation will stop people from suing the province if they are injured or killed on streets where bike lanes have been removed. NDP MPP Jessica Bell strongly opposes this bill, stating that it puts cyclists at risk. She argues that removing bike lanes will not solve traffic congestion in Toronto. In response, many cyclists protested by riding to Queen's Park, where they set up ghost bike memorials to remember cyclists who lost their lives on the road. A recent city report estimates that removing bike lanes could cost over 48 million Canadian dollars, which is about $35.5 million US dollars. This ongoing debate highlights the conflict between urban planning, cyclist safety, and traffic management in one of Canada's largest cities.
Tragic pedestrian accident in Toronto. A tragic accident took place in Etobicoke, a district in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. A family of 5 was struck by a vehicle while crossing the street on October 2nd, 2024. The mother, 39 years old, suffered critical injuries and passed away on November 22nd, 2024. The family included her partner, 45, and their 3 young children. The driver, a 77-year-old woman, made a left turn and hit the family in a crosswalk. The Toronto police are investigating the incident. This tragedy highlights ongoing concerns about pedestrian safety in busy urban areas and often sparks discussions about improving traffic regulations and protecting pedestrians.
Toronto addresses housing crisis for survivors of violence. On National Housing Day, Toronto officials highlighted the urgent need for housing solutions for survivors of gender-based violence. Mayor Chow reported that 41% of the homeless population in Toronto are women, underscoring a critical issue. She shared personal stories of violence and called for increased shelters and support services, including wraparound services that provide mental health care, addiction support, and childcare. Keynote speaker Patty Pettigrew discussed the unique challenges faced by Indigenous women who suffer higher rates of violence due to systemic racism. Chow urged all levels of government to work together to address the housing crisis, noting that 26,000 people are currently waiting for supportive housing in the city. The discussion also emphasized the importance of crisis response resources available for those experiencing violence, such as the Assaulted Women's Helpline and the Toronto Rape Crisis Center, which offer essential support.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.